Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Today we are looking at Collingwood's list management over the last 10 years when it comes to all things trade, draft, rookies, and everything else in between, and just see how many wins have we got over the last 10 years and really dive deep into it. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the screen and we're going to get stuck into this pretty much straight away, waste no further time. And look at this, starting from 2014. So let me just get this right. Okay, we're in place. So let's look at 2014, the historic year for Collingwood, because it still holds great pertinence to what is happening in the present day for Collingwood. First things first, right off the bat, is we acquire Jack Crisp from the Brisbane Lions. Now, if we look at how this trade occurred, as we all know, Jack Crisp was the steak knives of this trade in that massive black blockbuster move for Dane Beams to move back to Brisbane. We get Jack Crisp, DeGoey, and Dan Nielsen at pick 25, and Collingwood give up Dane Beams. I think Collingwood end up giving away Dan Nielsen to North Melbourne. So we did give that pick away. And yeah, as we know it, Jack Crisp currently has played 231 games. Jordan DeGoey, pick 5 in that 2014 draft, has played 171 games, has been instrumental in everything that Collingwood has been a part of since his introduction to the league. And along with that, we got Levi Greenwood. That's where we ended up trading. If we have a look here, we traded pick 25, Dan Nielsen, who only goes on to play 7 games for North. We get in return Levi Greenwood, who was coming off some career years for North Melbourne and played 86 games for us and served us really well as this tagger / run with player and Mr. Fix-It to a certain extent as well, playing in multiple different positions before he was forced to retire due to concussion after a massive collision with Nick Naitanui, okay? And then we look at the national draft, as we've already mentioned, we get Jordan DeGoey, we get a massive coup with Darcy Moore in the father-son selection. And he's now our skipper. He's played 173 games. He's played in the forward line early on in his career. Loves coaches' votes as well as DeGoey, and even has had some Brownlow votes for recognition. And All-Australian in 2020, 2023. And of course, the premiership, we all know that. At pick 30, we get a nugget. Brandon Maynard. He's played 209 games, kicked 20 goals, 88 coaches' votes. So, I mean, you get what you're given with Brandon Maynard. What you see is what you get, is what I'm saying with Brazzy, and has been a mainstay in our backline for the longest time, okay? Matthew Goodyear goes on to play 2 games for the Pies, not so great, and I believe we pass on pick 75. We all tend to forget this minor detail. In the rookie draft in 2014, we pick up Mason Cox, and he's now played 129 games and kicked 123 goals and is forming quite a scary ruck combination with Darcy Cameron at this present time. So really massive. And then we did see quite an outgoing of players here with Luke Ball retiring, Martin Clark done, Quinton Lynch, Kyle Martin, Nick Maxwell, our former skipper. So that's saying that we go on to delist Tony Armstrong, who played 35 games, is quite prominent in the media scene at the moment. So that's that. 2014, massive. I would grade 2014. Let's write this down as an A++ type of year for Collingwood, given the trade with Dan Beams, given Mason Cox from the rookie signing, given our work in the draft with hitting in the top 5 with Jordan DeGoey, okay? 2015, let's have a look. We bring in James Aish, who plays, how many games he played for us? He played 151 games for the Pies. And what did we give up for... I'm doing this live as well, guys, so I'm actually refreshing myself as we go along. There are going to be bits and pieces where I'm sort of just like browsing in and out of things to see what actually happened. But we end up giving up Willem Drew, who was a second-round pick, and Ryan Clark as well. He played for North Melbourne. Yeah, he played for North Melbourne and hasn't had much. Has he played? He played 16 games in 2023 for Sydney and then got delisted. So that was that. And then Willem Drew's been really good for Port Adelaide. But in saying that, do Collingwood take that pick 33 with Willem Drew is the question. So that's always the caveat. Like, yes, we gave up pick 26 and pick 33 opportunities to hit in the draft. Instead, we ask for James Ash, who played okay for Collingwood, a role player on the halfback flank and on the wing before he moved to Fremantle with Justin Longmire. So, yeah, I'm not too sure about this on whether this is a win. I would probably say it's a net loss, given these two players have played 200 games and Willem Drew still does some really good things for Port Adelaide. And then we have Jeremy Howe. So we pick him up at age 25. What did we give up? Let's see. So it was part of a massive four-way trade. So let's try and make sense of this. So let's focus about Collingwood. Collingwood gave up Paul Seedsman, who we know went to Adelaide, and Ben Kennedy, who also went to Melbourne. Okay. And in return, we get Jeremy Howe and pick 68. Okay. So 152 games from Jeremy Howe. We know what he's done for the club. He's become a frequent feature in the backline and has been asked to swing forward at times, and still one of our most important players in our team today. So really huge there. He was an All-Australian 2017 side, the extended squad, 2 years into his career at Collingwood. So it just goes to show he's gotten the recognition he deserves. 112 coaches' votes, kicked a couple goals here. This one is where it gets interesting, right? We pick up Adam Treloar from GWS, 22 years old. And what did we get? What did we give up? Let's see. So Collingwood gave pick 7, okay? And they select Sam Wiedemann. I think Sam Wiedemann they gave that, GWS gave that pick to Melbourne. Now, again, it's one of those things. Melbourne did not hit with Sam Wiedemann at pick 7, but who's to say Collingwood could have used that for something else and done much better with it. We also gave away another top 10 draft pick in Griffin Logue, who's been okay for Fremantle. So we did give up a lot. Adam Treloar certainly had some really good seasons for Collingwood. Unfortunately, in the end, Collingwood had to offload him because of the salary issues that were brought upon when we gave him a bag. We gave Brodie Grundy a bag. We gave Jaden Stevenson a hefty bag. Dane Beams as well in 2018. So he was probably made to be the scapegoat. This is why this trade hurts us in the end, because we did have to give away Treloar, not necessarily because he wasn't performing, but more so because of the salary cap issues that Collingwood had, and he was the one who had to bear the weight of these unfortunate circumstances at the time. Let's have a look at the next one. So in the draft, we go for Braden Sire, pick 32. He did well for Collingwood in 2018 in his breakout year, plays the grand final, was one of our better players in that grand final as well, but just in the end, admittedly, did not have the burning passion that is required to become a consistent player at AFL level. Braden Sire now plies his trade at a local footy level. Tom Phillips at pick 58 was a steal. It was a draft steal, it seemed to be. And then, in 2017, 2018, 2019, he was really good. And then after that, he sort of just fell off a cliff, gets traded to Hawthorn, maybe traded or delisted and relisted by Hawthorn, and unfortunately just couldn't keep up in the AFL for some reason. Rupert Wills was another interesting one at pick 63. Seemed like another potential steal at given stages throughout his career. Only goes on to play 23 games in the midfield. Really bullish, strong tackler, but just, another one of those ones that just couldn't cut it. And then Ben Crocker. A lot of these players here, all 4 of them had potential to be career-long AFL players to make the 150-game mark, and none of them end up doing that, which is such a shame. Ben Crocker, 33 games, 26 goals, currently playing for Collingwood in the VFL side. So he's been at Collingwood AFL, went to Carlton VFL, and now he's back to Collingwood VFL at this stage. In the rookie draft, so we re-rookie Lachlan Keefe and Josh Thomas after some sort of performance enhancement debacle, and Josh Thomas went along and another one of those players who played really good footy for 2-3 years, especially in 2018, but then after that slowly declined and got delisted. Lachlan Keefe was always sort of just this role player in the back line, and now he's playing at GWS and still getting games somehow. Patrick Karnezis retires, and that's when we delisted and relisted these two. So there you go. We delist Clinton Young and Sam Dwyer, and yeah, that's that. And we elevate Jack Frost from the rookie list. Okay, moving on to 2026. Lyndon Dunn, one of those stopgaps that did really well for Collingwood in those 33 games, but then 2 back-to-back ACLs really sets him back. What did we give up for him? Wouldn't have been much, would it? Yeah, so Collingwood gave up pick 47 for Lyndon Dunn, which is probably similar to what will happen if we get a Jack Hayes. We'll probably give something along the lines of that draft pick. We're looking at, I think we got pick 51. So maybe we'll use that for a Jack Hayes, who's from St Kilda and will play forward. And then Will Hoskin Elliott at 23 years old. God, this guy has been great for us. Initially drafted by pick 4 by GWS. All we gave up was a second rounder, which was pick 25, and ends up being Noah Bolter. So GWS clearly gave that to Richmond. And yeah, we've got a really good return from Hoskin Elliott. He kicked 42 goals in 2018, and since then has just been a really good role player and asked to do a job anywhere on the field, and he will do it. We pick up Chris Mayne and Daniel Wells as unrestricted free agents. Chris Mayne really didn't get much of a shot at Collingwood in his first year. He was playing VFL on a big contract, and I remember a lot of people were upset about that. But he does go on and find some really good consistency and has a really good year. A lot of these players have a really good year in 2018, and then I think Chris Mayne ends up retiring at the end of 2019 or 2020. Daniel Wells at age 31 was a really risky one, really injury prone, only plays 15 games. So that was a shame. We look at the draft. We got Sam Michelati. He was a key position player, doesn't play a single game for Collingwood despite having good raps about him. Callum Brown just couldn't cut it, unfortunately. Cale Kirby had heart issues, so he was forced into early retirement. And then this is a really good nugget here. Josh Dacos at pick 57 by the father-son rule. And just looking at the draft, rookie draft, not too much happens here. Max Lynch was traded to Hawthorn, or at least relisted by Hawthorn. Henry Shade had a couple games, and that was that. Retirements, Brent McCaffer, Marshy. We see Dane Swan retire here. Tuvey, and that's just about it. Nathan Brown as a free agent. Is that right? Okay. And I think we also we traded Travis Cloak as well. Why is that not? It is here. So we trade Travis Cloak to the Western Bulldogs. Jack Frost goes to the Bulldogs. Marley Williams goes to North, and Jared Witt, after playing not many games at all for Collingwood, goes to Gold Coast. Okay. Moving on to 2017. We pick up Sam Murray in the trade period. Where did we get him from? Was he not? So he's from Sydney after being in the rookie list. And he was a really good halfback flanker. Unfortunately, got done with some narcotics, and that was pretty much the end of his career. We get Jack Madgen, the cult figure. Plays 49 games, just short of his 50-game milestone, which is unfortunate. They're really, in the moment, at the time, a really successful draft. We get Steve-O, who played 54 games for Collingwood, was the rising star in 2018, was really good for us. Nathan Murphy, if you know, you know. Pick 39. What a great acquisition there, but unfortunately just what happened. Rookie draft. Another really successful pickup in the rookie draft in Brody Myercheck. Flynn Appleby plays 11 games. Adam Oxley was re-rookied after being on. No, this is when he did come to Collingwood rookied after playing in the needful for Gold Coast. So, yeah, we're doing some really good work here in the draft in these years, and then also in the rookie draft. We make some good trades in the previous years in 16, 15. Jesse White and Ben Sinclair retire. So, yeah, we do re-rookie Adam Oxley after delisting him due to injury issues. And then we elevate Mason Cox from the rookie list. And 2018, the massive year here, we bring in Dane Beams at the end of 2018, and we know what happened here. What do we give up? We give up Eli Smith at pick 18, and doesn't do anything for Brisbane. We also gave up Mitch Georgiades, which would be quite a handy player to have right now. But once again, I must articulate that just because we have pick 17 and pick 18 doesn't mean Collingwood pick Mitch Georgiades and Eli Smith, and Brisbane give Dane Beams pick 41, pick 44, and that was a disaster trade, unfortunately. It is what it is. He plays 9 games and kicks 5 goals in 1 year and then retires in 2020. Jordan Ruffhead, another really good stopgap for us. And hopefully we get someone like Tomlinson to emulate what Ruffhead was able to provide for Collingwood at his time. What do you play? 63 games, and all we gave up was pick 75. So that was an absolute 100% trade steal, in my opinion. What else? Tom Wilson did some good things, had back issues, and that probably spelled the end of it. He's now playing basketball at quite a high level. And then in the national draft, we do well with pick 13, acquiring Isaac Quaynor, who's played 108 games, was in the extended AA squad last year, has had a down year this year, but I think he comes back really strong in 2025. We bring in Mark Keane. He plays 31 games for Collingwood, an Irish defender, but unfortunately goes back home to Ireland due to home sickness, and now he is plying his trade for the Crows. And ironically, we tried to get him back to the club, and I think he extended his contract with Adelaide by a further 2 years. Rookie draft, Tim Broomhead, Sam Murray, and I think this was the first mid-season draft, we get John Noble, who has played 112 games. He's played the most games out of anybody that's been picked up in the mid-season draft. So we're going to get a really nice net return on the John Noble trade if it goes through with Gold Coast, considering we got him from the mid-season draft. So that was a really good return there. Cal Kirby retires due to heart issues. Sam McClarty delisted, unfortunately. Jared Blair was really upset with this one. He thought he had more to give. Fazzy, we bring in Fasolo as a free agent. Where did he play beforehand? So he comes in. Okay. So we must have What's happened here? We must have delisted him and put him back on the list or something. Help me out there, guys. I can't quite remember. 2019, we bring in Darcy Cameron for basically peanuts. We give up pick 56, who ends up being Big and Yuan, who just got delisted by North Melbourne. And extended All-Australian squad for Darcy Cameron in 2024, the best intercepting ruckman in the league. What an absolute gun. The national draft, we completely miss here. With pick 40, pick 45, pick 55, what do you expect? Trey Rusco seemed okay at times. Trent Bianco was okay. All of them not playing AFL now. And we bring up Lyndon Dunn in the preseason supplementary period after he's coming back from his ACL. We see Goldsack and Wells retire. We delist Crocker and Lyndon Dunn go back into the preseason supplementary period. And we trade away James Aish for, let's see. So Collingwood will give James Aish and pick 69. What Collingwood got was pick 23 and pick 59, what did we do? Does it tell me what we did with those at the bottom here? We did some pick swaps. It says unused, so I don't quite know how to track that, guys. If you guys want to let me know in the comment section what we did with these unused picks, let me know, and that would help a lot. Okay, 2020. This one was interesting because, it's a mixed bag. We get Oliver Henry at pick 17, who was a hit. He was doing really well at Collingwood, was sort of battling in and out of the squad because of the competition in that forward position. God, could we use him now in that third key tall forward position? He's kicked 106 goals in his career while also being at Geelong. Finlay McRae, we know what's happened here so far at pick 19. Reef McInnes, pick 23. Caleb Pultz is playing at Western Bulldogs. Liam McMahon is playing for Carlton in the VFL side. And Bo McCreary, it's ironic that at pick 44, he's probably the most successful out of the bunch behind Oliver Henry, who's not even at Collingwood. So he comes in as a mature age recruit at 19 years old. We say mature, but he's still a baby at that point. And then we rookie draft Jack Ginnivan, who was also a really good acquisition, played 42 games for Collingwood and is forever a Collingwood premiership player. Mid-season draft, we do really well with Ash Johnson, who really gave us a solid return early on. He's been struggling now, but we'll see where that goes. And Aiden Begg was recently delisted by Collingwood. And we see Dan Beams, Leonard Dunn, Langdon due to knee issues, Reedy due to calf issues, and Varco just old age. Scharenberg, Rupert, all gone. And then, this is the blockbuster where we get rid of Adam Treloar. Jaden Stevenson goes. Tom Phillips goes. Artu Basuna-Valagi goes. What do we give up for Treloar? This one's going to hurt. Collingwood gave Adam Treloar pick 26, pick 33, pick 42, and we got pick 14 and a second round pick. And again, it just doesn't tell me exactly what was done. I imagine a bunch of pick swaps or something like that. I'm not too sure. You'd have to let me know. And then for Stevenson, what did we get? We gave Basuna-Valagi, Stevenson, pick 39, and what we got was pick 26, 33, 70. Once again, picks not used. So please let me know in the comment section if you know what that means. But yeah, Steve-O gone. And then Tom Phillips, what did we give up for Phillips? Pick 65. That hurts. He was near borderline All-Australian in 2018, was it? Let's see here. 2018, 34 coaches' votes, 15 goals, a really good winger. If it was a true winger position in the All-Australian, there's a case to be made that he could have been an All-Australian, at least in the extended squad. Okay, so moving on to 2021, we bring in Nathan Kruger, who's in his contract or his future at Collingwood is up in the air, depending on what happens in the next few days with the trade period. Patrick Lipinski has been really serviceable and is a premiership player. All we asked from Western Bulldogs was pick 43 we gave up pick 43 to get Patrick Lipinski. So that's a trade steal win. I definitely rate that. And then, we bring in Nick Dacos. We miss with pick 45 and 49, but we do really well with pick 52. We seem to do very well, Collingwood, with our later picks in the draft. Bo McCreary, Harvey Harrison, the rookie draft, Mychek, Cox, Ginnivan, Dane Swan, if you want to go further back. But yeah, hopefully when Harvey Harrison comes back from his ACL, he can continue off from where he started. And then we brought Charlie Dean in from the rookie draft, who's still sort of trying to find his feet, and the verdict is still out on what Charlie Dean's career looks like moving forward for Collingwood. Mid-season draft, Josh Carmichael looked like a good one as well. Unfortunately, had to retire this year due to concussion issues. Retirements in Greenwood, Maine, Josh Thomas and Anton Tohill, delisted Braden Sire, Jay Rantle, and we trade away Max Lynch to Hawthorn. 2022, the famous trades that got us over the line for the grand final. Tom Mitchell gets coaches' votes in the grand final. What do we give up for? That's ridiculous. Like we give up. We gave Oliver Henry. This is a three-way trade, isn't it? Yeah. So we give up Oliver Henry, and Collingwood get pick 25, which is once again pick not used. So I'm not too sure. But then we got Tom Mitchell as well. And if you know the rest of the story, you would know that he was integral in that final series in 2023. Bobby Hill, Mr. Norm Smith himself. Collingwood gave pick 43 and a future second. We get Bobby Hill and pick 40. And then Billy Frampton for Peanuts from Adelaide for a future third, and does somewhat of a job. He was really good during the regular season in 2023. I remember him playing ruck, backline, and then plays forward in the grand final. Doesn't really do much, but at the end of the day, he is a premiership player. Mr. Norm Smith is also a premiership player, and Tom Mitchell is a premiership player. A really good unrestricted free agency pickup here with Dan McStay. Has had his injury woes over the last 2 years, but I'm sure he'll come good. Ed Allen has done well so far. I mean, he's only played 2 games. We played really good against Melbourne. So I think we're all pretty excited to see what Ed Allen can bring Collingwood in 2025. Jacob Ryan, a 6'1" halfback flanker. I think he's still got more to tell in his story at Collingwood, and we'll see that in 2025. Joe Richards seemed like to be a really nice, mature age recruit there, and has played 9 games, kicked 6 goals, really clean by foot, but seems to be going to Port Adelaide. So we'll have to not cut our losses with him, but hopefully we can get something better than pick 48 in return with that trade for Joe Richards, depending on whether we get Houston or not. We also get Oleg Markov in the preseason supplementary period, and he goes on to have a really fucking good 2023. Averages nearly 2 intercept marks a game, or 8 intercept mark a game, or somewhere between that, and is a premiership player. So we're always worried about what we do on the draft, but you have to consider the preseason supplementary period. You have to consider the mid-season draft, the rookie draft, the trade work. It's not all in the national draft, guys. And it's not like we've had a bunch of first-round picks in the draft over the last 10 years either. So please keep that in mind. And of course, we do give up a lot of first-rounders for trades. But once again, look at the totality of what's happened, and we've done well. Marqueen retires, Jordan Ruffin retires. We delist the Brown brothers and a bunch of other players here. And then we trade Oliver Henry. What does he go for? We've already seen that one. Brody Grundy, unfortunately, we have to offload as well for pick 27 after giving him a massive bag and being a 2-time All-Australian. That one hurts to this day. We elevate Ginnivan and Noble from the rookie list. Last one, 2023. We bring in Lockie Schultz for pick 34 and a future first, which we don't have access to this year. We bring in Harry Dimatia and TJ, who have played 1 game between the two, but we'll see more from them over the next coming years and see where that all goes. And nothing used in the rookie draft. We tried our hand in the preseason supplementary period. We got a bit out of Lockie Sullivan. His career is up for debate. Josh Eyre was hindered by a hamstring injury, so we'll see more from him in 2025. And Jack Bytel did okay. He did okay, but considering he's 23, I think his position is safe at Collingwood, and we should see more from him next year at some point. We also bring in Ned Long, who plays 7 games. Will probably have a spot at Collingwood next year, being only 20 years old. And then Ilaru Smith, that big bustling ruckman who has a lot of energy and is really competitive at ground level. So really keen to see what he can bring for Collingwood. And that's about it. We trade Jack Ginnivan, and that was a messy one, wasn't it? Yeah. We gave Jack Ginnivan pick 39, a future second, a future fourth, and we got pick 33, a 2024 round 2, 2024 round 3, which we have this year. This year, I think. Yeah, this year, but we don't have pick 21. It all gets a bit messy, but I guess you get the point there. And then Taylor Adams, what was given up for Taylor? Let's see. That's a decent one. I think that's a decent coup there. Pick 33 for Taylor Adams. I think that's decent considering Taylor Adams didn't even play in the grand final, and we've got this pick. So, well, that may have been from last year. Okay. Then we elevate Ash Johnson and Markov from the rookie list, and that is, guys, Collingwood's work over the last 10 years, and that's why we are where we are, and that's why we've been able to remain competitive, because we're so versatile in the way we manage our list and bring players into the club. So let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you enjoyed this. This was just a little bit of fun. And if you enjoy the content, consider subscribing. And we'll see you tomorrow for the start of the week, where we see the final 3 days of the trade period. Go Pies.